What up, everyone? Big Kev back in the building. Today we have Messi as a dog. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's check it out.
The quick answer is because of my daughter, because of my wife, because my family is from Catalonia. But if I had to answer with honesty why I'm still here in Barcelona in these awful and boring times, it would be because by train I'm 40 minutes away from the best football in history. I mean, if my wife and daughter decided to go to live in Argentina right now, I would divorce and stay here, at least until the Champions League final.
Did he just say he'd divorce his wife if she wanted to leave Barcelona? Wow, I mean, you can't say he's not dedicated to the team.
Because the world has never seen something like this on a football pitch, in no era, ever, and it's very likely that it will never happen again.
I wasn't sure of this video, though.
It's true. I'm writing this at a special time. I'm writing this in the same week that Messi scored 3 goals for Argentina, 5 for Barcelona in the Champions League, and 2 for his club in La Liga. 10 goals in 3 games for 3 different competitions. The Catalan press doesn't talk about anything else. For a little while, the economic crisis isn't the main subject on the front page of the news. The internet is plain theory. That's why I'll try to write it, to see if I can finally grasp it fully. It all started this morning. I'm watching Messi goals on YouTube non-stop. I'm doing it with guilt because I'm in the middle of editing magazine number 6. I shouldn't be doing this. By chance, I click on a compilation of clips I've never seen before. I think it'll be one more video like thousands and thousands, but I soon realize it is not. The clips are not Messi goals, his best runs, nor his assists. It's a strange compilation. The video shows hundreds of clips, 2 or 3 seconds long each, in which Messi gets tackled fiercely and doesn't fall to the ground. He doesn't dive or whine, he doesn't try to win a free kick or a penalty. In each frame, he keeps his eyes on the ball while he struggles to find balance. He makes supernatural efforts to keep the game going, even if the opposite defender deserves a yellow card.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that from some of the other videos that I've reacted to, that he has a way of staying up when people are clearly trying to trip him and grab him and even sometimes outright throw him to the ground. He just has a way of keeping his balance and then going full speed, and you'd think just his momentum would take him to the ground, and a lot of times he's able to stand upright and keep in stride and then just continue on dribbling the ball and work his way through more defenders. And when he does get knocked down, he just seems to pop right back up again. It's pretty remarkable.
It is a compilation of relentless kicks, obstructions, stomps and cheating, reckless tackles and shirt grabbing.
Yeah,
I've never seen them all together. He runs with the ball and receives
basically just tackled him around the waist on that one.
a kick in the tibia, but keeps going. He gets hit in the ankles, stumbles and keeps going. He gets his shirt grabbed and pulled by a defender. He frees himself and keeps going. Suddenly, I was stunned, because something in those images was familiar to me. I replayed each frame in slow motion and realized that Messi's eyes are always concentrated on the ball, and not on the sport, nor on the context. Football today has very clear regulations by which, a lot of times, falling to the ground could mean securing a penalty or getting an opposition player booked, because
Yeah, his focus is pretty incredible, that he's able to keep track of the ball even when he's about to fall or trying to stay and stay balanced. Most people would lose track of where the ball is because they're just trying to stay upright. And he's somehow able just to lock his eyes on the ball while still, staying upright and keeping in stride.
could prove useful for later counterattacks. In these clips, Messi seems like he doesn't understand anything about football or opportunities. It seems like he's in a trance, hypnotized. He only wants the ball in the net. He doesn't care about the sport, nor the result, nor the laws. You have to look carefully into his eyes to understand it. He squeezes them as if struggling to read a subtitle. He focuses on the ball, and he wouldn't lose sight of it, not even if he was stabbed. Where have I seen that look before? It looked familiar to me, that gesture of introspection. I paused the video, zoomed into his eyes, and then I remembered. The eyes of Totin when he was going crazy for the sponge. When I was a child, I had a dog called Totin. Nothing moved him. He wasn't an intelligent dog. When thieves broke into the house, he just looked at them while they carried the TV away. The doorbell rang, and he didn't seem to have heard it. I puked, and he didn't come to lick it. But when somebody, my mother, my sister, myself, grabbed a sponge, a yellow sponge to wash the dishes, Totin went mad. He wanted the sponge more than anything in the world. He was dying to get that yellow rectangle and carry it to his dog bed. I would show him the sponge with my right hand, and he would focus on it. I would move it side to side, and he would never stop looking at it. He could not stop looking at it. The speed in which...
On these clips when he's falling down, after he's already on the ground, it looks like he's constantly reaching towards the ball to grab it and pull it in, almost like trying to recover a fumble in football. I wonder if that's just instinctual or if there's a reason why he's trying to do that, like stop the play or something.
I moved the sponge didn't matter. Totin's neck would move at identical speed through the air. His eyes would become attentive, intellectual eyes, like Messi's eyes, which stopped being the eyes of a scatterbrained teenager and for a few seconds turned into the attentive side of Sherlock Holmes. I discovered today, watching that video, that Messi is a dog, or a dogman. This is my theory. I'm sorry if you had greater expectations. Messi is the first dog that plays football. It is possible that he doesn't even understand the rules.
I'm pretty sure he understands the rules at this point.
Dogs don't fake it and dive.
I mean, I get the whole, the dog analogy and everything, but also kind of like saying he's a simpleton as well, which I think he has the, that spirit of a dog and, never give up and go after it. But you still have to be pretty intelligent, especially when it comes to like in terms of knowing your sport, the ins and outs to play as well as he does.
When they see a car coming in their direction, they don't complain to the referee when a cat escapes them. They don't want the garbage truck to be booked. When football started, players were like this too. They went for the ball and nothing else. Color cards didn't exist, nor the offside rule, nor were the away goals more important than the home ones. Back then,
you just trucked that guy.
People played football like Messi and Totin. Afterwards, everything got very strange. Today, everyone seems to care more about the bureaucracy of the sport, its laws. After an important game, people take a whole week to talk about the legislation. Did Juan get booked on purpose so that he would miss the next game and play El Clásico? Did Pedro really fake the foul inside the penalty box? Will they allow Pancho to play as stated by the clause number 208, which says that Ernesto is playing for the under-17? Did the coach order to overwater the pitch so the opponents would slip and break their cranium?
He smacked his head on that one.
Did the ball boys disappear when the game was 2-1 and appear again when it was 2-2? Will the club appeal Paco's double yellow card in the tribunal? Did the referee correctly add the minutes that Ricardo wasted by protesting about the sanction that Ignacio received because of Luis' time wasting before the throw-in? No, sir. Dogs don't listen to the radio. They don't read the news. They don't understand if a game is an unimportant friendly or the cup final. Dogs want to take the sponge to their dog bed, even if they are tied to death or if the mice are killing them. Messi is a dog.
Messi seems to like go full out no matter what the circumstances or whatever the game is. It's just how some players are built. Not as many anymore, apparently.
He breaks past records because the dogman played football only until the 50s. Afterwards, FIFA invited us to talk about laws and articles, and we forgot how important the sponge is. And one day, a sick boy appeared. Just like the day a sick monkey stood upright and the history of mankind began. This time, it was a kid from Rosario with, apparently, some disabilities. Unable to say one phrase after another, visibly awkward, incapable of almost anything related to human guile, but with an impressive talent to keep and control something round and inflated and take it to the net at the end of a green prairie. If people let him, he wouldn't do anything else. Take that white sphere.
I love watching him dribble.
and put it between the three posts all the time, like Sisyphus, over and over again. After the game in which he scored 5 goals, Guardiola said, "The day he wants, he will score 6. It wasn't a compliment, it was the objective expression of the symptoms. Lionel Messi is a sick man. It's a strange illness that moves me, because I loved Totin and now Messi is the last dogman. And to watch that illness in detail, to see it evolve every Saturday."
I think Messi's just a rare combination of not only having like that, what he calls dogman kind of spirit, but also having like the skills in all the areas to back it up. There's probably some other gritty players who, play as hard as him. They're just not nearly as talented. So they just can't do the things that he can do. And you put that combination together, and that's what makes one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time.
That's why I'm still in Barcelona, even though I'd prefer to be living somewhere else. Every time I climb the Camp Nou stairs and I suddenly see the brightness of the lit-up pitch, this moment that always reminds us of our childhood, I say the same thing to myself. You have to be really lucky, Jorge, to love a sport so much and being contemporary with its best version. And on top of that, the pitch where it happens is so close to you. I enjoy my double luck. It's my treasure. I'm nostalgic of the present every time Messi plays. I'm a fanatic of this place in the world and this historic time. Because I think, on Doomsday, all the men that have ever lived will congregate to talk about football. And one will say, "I studied in Amsterdam in 1979. And another will say, "I was an architect in Sao Paulo in 62. And another one, "I was a teenager in Napoli in 87. And my father will say, "I traveled to Montevideo in 67. And another one behind him, "I listened to the Silence Maracana in 1950. Everyone will tell their stories with pride until the night is old. And when nobody else is left to speak, I will stand and say slowly, "I lived in Barcelona in the times of the dogman." And there will be silence. Everyone else will lower their head, and God will appear, dressed for the occasion, and pointing at me he will say, "You, the little fat one, you're saved. Everybody else, to the showers."
The narration on this is pretty wild. Yeah, this was a good one. I enjoyed this. I like them exploring this other side of Messi. Is basically unbreakable spirit and like will to just move forward no matter what obstacles are thrown in his way, no matter how hard his opponents try to foul him or stop him from attaining his objective. He just kind of moves forward and finds a way to get the ball in the goal, which is obviously the most important thing in soccer. So until next time, have a good one.